Blackwood, a town lost in time, nestled deep within a valley. Mountains, tall and imposing, encircled it like watchful guardians. The forest pressed close, a sea of evergreens whispering secrets on the wind. A perpetual mist hung low, blurring the lines between reality and dreams. The air itself felt heavy, laden with unspoken stories, remnants of a past unwilling to let go. Blackwood was a place of shadows and echoes, where time seemed to flow differently, slowly, as if reluctant to disturb the stillness. But something was about to change. Evelyn Harper arrived in Blackwood on a somber autumn afternoon. Rain streaked the windows of her car, mirroring the tears she could no longer cry. Tragedy had a way of stripping away everything familiar, leaving behind a raw ache in its wake. Blackwood, with its isolation and air of melancholic beauty, called to her wounded soul. Here, in this forgotten corner of the world, she hoped to find solace, a sanctuary to piece together the shattered fragments of her life.
Here, maybe, just maybe, I can find some peace.
On the outskirts of town, nestled at the edge of the woods, stood a small cottage. Its paint was weathered, the garden overgrown, yet it possessed a quiet charm. Evelyn felt a sense of peace settle upon her as she stepped inside. The air smelled faintly of wood smoke and old books, a comforting aroma that whispered of forgotten times. The forest pressed close, its presence both daunting and strangely reassuring. Here, surrounded by nature's embrace, Evelyn began to breathe again. One crisp morning, as Evelyn explored the woods surrounding her cottage, she heard a faint whimpering. Following the sound, she discovered a small, mud-caked puppy, its leg caught in a tangle of roots. He was all big, soulful eyes and trembling fear. Gently she freed him, his whimpers subsiding into soft whines. He was just a puppy, lost and alone. Evelyn, her heart aching with a familiar pang, knew she couldn't leave him behind.
Let's get you cleaned up and warm. You're coming home with me.
As Evelyn and the newly named Max began their journey back to the cottage, a sense of camaraderie began to form between them. The path was quiet, save for the soft rustling of leaves and the distant call of birds. But then, a chill ran down Evelyn's spine as they neared an old crumbling well. The air around it felt colder, heavier, as if it held secrets long forgotten. Max, usually timid, suddenly stood tall, his fur bristling and a low growl emanating from his throat. Evelyn, puzzled, looked down at him. "Max, what's wrong, boy?" The puppy's eyes never left the well, his growl growing louder. As Evelyn took a cautious step closer, she felt an almost palpable sense of dread. But Max, to her astonishment, moved forward, placing himself between her and the well. His bravery was unwavering, as though he knew exactly what lay within the dark depths. A soft, eerie whisper floated up from the well, sending shivers down Evelyn's spine. But Max stood his ground, barking fiercely. Whatever was in the well seemed to retreat, the air lightening as it did. Evelyn knelt beside Max, her hand gently resting on his head. "Thank you, Max. You really are something special." With Max leading the way, they continued their journey home, the bond between them growing stronger with each step. Together they knew they could face whatever mysteries the woods held. Little did they know this was just the beginning of their adventures.